These are amazing. I just can't wait for you to try them. I have a new recipe. It's for corn grits. Now, I know you're going to say this woman is obsessed with grits, and I suppose you could be right, but this is a recipe that was given to me recently by an elderly gentleman who lives in this area, and he gardens. He grows a lot of corn, and this is the non-GMO older corn that he's been saving the seeds from for years, and he grinds his own. So let me show you what it looks like. He has the little portable grist mill, and he grinds his own corn for grits and cornmeal, and he makes something that he calls corn flour that looks very much like wheat flour, but it's made from corn. So he gave me some of these. This is real grits, and he gave me this recipe. And the first thing we need to do is to take these grits and rinse them, because they have a lot of chaff in them still that you won't get if you're using store-bought grits, because they've already had this process done to them. So what you do is you add some water to it. I've got a cup of grits in here, and I've added water. And we're going to let it set for just a second after we stir it. And the chaff, I wish you could see this a little better, but the chaff that rises to the top, we're going to pour that off. That's what we're trying to get rid of. And we're going to do that 2 or 3 times. And then we're going to drain the grits as much as we can, and then start the recipe. So as you can see, we don't have a whole lot more to drain off. Okay, so now I'm going to get my strainer, and I'm going to pour the corn, or the grits, into the strainer. And let them sit here and drain while we work on the rest of the recipe. So the next part of this recipe calls for a cup of corn, sweet corn. And what you're supposed to do is take your corn cobs and grill them over charcoal until they're slightly blackened. And then you cool the corn and cut the kernels off with a sharp knife. But you can also just use canned corn. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take 1 cup of the canned corn, and in an iron skillet, which I just happen to have, you put 1/4 of a cup of butter, into the skillet. And I'm going to drain my can of corn and take 1 cup of the corn kernels. And I'm going to put them into the skillet with the 1/4 of a stick of butter. And I'm going to cook it until it's slightly brown. There we go. Now you can see what's going on in the skillet. So I have it cooking in a round skillet over medium heat. And this is 1 cup of the drained corn kernels. Alright, so our corn is beginning to brown, and I'm going to turn it off because it's also beginning to pop. So we don't want to make our casserole with popcorn. Alright, our corn is ready. And I'm going to take it off the stove and get a little 2-quart pot, and I'm going to add 2 cups of chicken broth and bring that to a boil. I'm going to cover the pot so that it'll come to a boil a little faster. Our chicken broth has come to a boil. So we are supposed to add the heavy cream. Add the cream and let it come back to a boil. Chicken broth and cream are back to a boil, and I'm going to slowly add the grits. You have to add grits slowly, stirring all the while so you don't have a bunch of lumps. Now that the grits have been stirred in well, I'm going to add the corn that's been browned, and it smells divine. Now when it comes back to a boil, I'm going to reduce the heat to very low, cover it, and let it cook for 20 minutes, stirring occasionally. You don't have to stir it constantly. But about every 4 minutes, 4 or 5 minutes, maybe more often than that. Alright, so our corn grits have been cooking for 20 minutes now. And I've stirred them about every 3 minutes. And they look amazing. Even people who don't like grits would probably like this. So it'll make a good side dish. So for supper tonight, I'm having corn grits and peas just out of the garden that are cooking over here. And I'm going to fry some tilapia fillets. So it's going to be a good meal. Let's see how these taste. You have to add salt and pepper to taste now. But I've just got to try it. These are amazing. I just can't wait for you to try them. If you found this helpful, please like and share. And thanks for stopping by.